Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another edition of our weekly real estate backstory. We do this every week where we kind of sum up the comings, the goings, the things happening in the real estate market here in the Atlanta area. My name is Alan Richardson. I'm the managing broker here at Max One Realty and Realtor Partners.
My name's Bing Richardson. I'm the compliance broker for Maximum One Realty and Realtor Partners.
And we want to kind of jump in today. And again, we don't like to be political, but I think we have to be ready to talk about what's happening in our industry. And so the Biden-Harris administration just announced a whole new set of things that they're trying to do to help boost
Supply and lower
supply.
housing costs.
Yeah, that's the goal there anyway. And our problem is that we feel it's not exactly true. And what I mean by that is on the positive side, they are putting some policies in place to boost the supply as well as the affordability of manufactured homes. And so look to see some better deals, opportunities in mobile homes. And I think sometimes us in the real estate space kind of poo-poo modular mobile homes, but they're not the same mobile homes like
the one your father or your parents lived in. So it's a lot different now.
But now the negative side of things here is that there's four other programs that they're trying to put together, and one is to promote fair, more transparent rental markets. And not that we have a problem with that makes sense. But then there's three different programs: one for low income, one for seniors, and then another one that is basically an investing option for investors to create more apartments. And I know that overall folks need housing. I totally get that. The challenge is that wealth in the United States comes from home ownership. And if you want to help a family, if you want to help an entire generation of people, have them buy homes, help them
Not
to buy
renting
homes.
it.
And don't give me the the interest rates are high. Well, what's the interest rate on a rental?
100%.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. So we have to be the ones out there advocating for home ownership and understanding the power that really has, going on. Now, at the same time, in the media,
they're having a heyday on
they
us.
are jumping all over us, and we need to, and we have to kind of understand, everyone's kind of blaming us for everything. Is how it feels right now, and we've had administrations say things. Just about every news outlet out there has bashed realtors and the real estate industry overall in general kind of thing. But what we're going to kind of urge you here is to keep your head screwed on straight. First thing you need to do is to really stay focused on your business. Anytime there's disruption, and Ming and I've been through a lot of disruptions in our
real estate business
over the years. We've been in it a while, right? And so anytime that disruption happens, it always it's so easy to lose your focus, to kind of get so wrapped up in the dysfunction, in the disruption, to where you lose sight of what's very important. You need to stay focused on your business, the things that help you serve your clients, attract more clients, make money, sell more houses. These are the things that you should be focused on.
Not only that, you need to focus on education as well, not on defending yourself, but improve our perception with our clients. A lot of agents are getting defensive, and when you get defensive, guess what? You put a lot of negative energy.
And it shows. Oh my gosh, the negative energy shows in everything out there. Like that negative energy, it starts coming across in your social media posts, in your conversations, in the videos you post, and really no one's attracted to that.
Yeah, and also just remember, y'all, our license is to help the general public, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So educate the folks out there and help them.
Yeah. Now, on the good news, as far as what's some things that are happening from the lawsuit. So this past week, NAR, National Association of Realtors, reached out to the VA as well as to Fannie and Freddie, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and FHA, and said, all right, we really need to be able to help out our first-time buyers and our VA buyers. We're concerned about them, and they're concerned, but Ming and I, we're concerned as well, because we feel like that's probably our biggest at-risk group is going to be our VA and our FHA buyers.
Well, the thing is, I don't think they realize the way the media is sensationalizing this lawsuit, what it's going to do for the buyer as far as consumer
Yeah,
protection. Because the way they make us look like we're the evil folks, and therefore our service is no longer needed.
yeah.
But that is far fetched from the truth. Because I can tell you right now that our service is very much needed, and that consumer do not know on the average what they're doing. And not only that, for experienced investor, and I'm not bashing in a group, experienced seller, they may take the opportunity having the upper hand because they have done this more than once.
Well, our FHA and our VA buyers are, in our opinion, the group that needs representation more than just about anyone out there. And so, in the letter, NAR wrote to VA, and basically saying, listen, right now the veterans can't pay for
Commission.
for commissions, and while using their VA benefit, and that puts them at risk. That puts
Mm-hmm.
them at risk of being taken advantage of, and then also the same issue with our first time buyers when it comes to FHA mortgages, that kind of stuff. Now, FHA, which is actually a really good, we got a very positive response back from FHA, and so FHA sent out an email and basically agreed with NAR's request. And FHA's direct statement here is, if sellers continue to pay buyer side real
Real estate.
estate agent commissions and fees in a manner of state and local customs, and if the commissions and fees are reasonable in amount, existing policy would not treat those payments as interested party contributions provided. And what that basically means, it wouldn't come against their
Seller
6%.
concession.
Right. And so like that means that the FHA is very open to these being able to be financed in. Now, again, just like everything else going on with all the flux we have going on
Mm-hmm.
in our industry, like this is where it's leaning. We don't have a we have a letter from FHA right now, but there's going to be more rules coming out. But the fact that they are being very open to that actually has us really strongly encouraged about that. Because I want you to understand that right now, first time buyers make up 32% of our entire buyer pool.
Which is up by 26% from last
Well,
year.
last year was 26. It's up 6%.
Right.
It's up to 32. Now, the average is around 38%. At the same time, 22 to 23%, really 23% of our buyers are
Our
veterans.
veterans.
And so, most of our, many of our VA, VA doesn't require a down payment. And now they're going to have to come out of pocket for this. And many of our VA buyers can't afford it. And many of our first time buyers can't afford to have the commissions added on. I mean, up front in there. And one thing that we have to be ready to have a conversation, especially with our sellers right now, is say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, do you not want your home
You're
to be
basically
viewed by
is
over
outcasting.
50%? Well, I mean, but like when you look at 33, well, let's just say 30, somewhere 35%
And another
of first time
22.
buyers, and then 22%. So 55% of the buyers, if you don't want to offer a co op commission, that means you're only going to be able that only 45%, 40 to 45% of the buyer pool will be looking at your home.
Correct.
And so are you ready? Are you
You
prepared to
you're
do that?
basically
Or do you want to
alleviating
start?
out.
Well, I mean, at that point, you have to say, in order to attract people here, maybe we need to lower the price, or we just need to do what we've been doing for the last 20 years. Our sellers do not have to pay a commission. We know that they don't. They've never had to
But
here
it's
in
not to
Georgia.
their advantage because when the seller bought their
Right,
home, they never pay commission
right.
on the buying end of it.
So we do understand that there are some new rule changes coming out. We have months until they kind of get here. We totally get that. However, one thing that we're seeing, or that we're trying to prepare us, our agents for, and I want you to be very well aware of, is that it's time that we treat our buyers the same way we do our sellers. You would never, ever go out on a listing and just say, "Hey, I emailed you an Athena sign. As soon as you sign that, then I'll list your property."
without any
Oh,
consultation.
no, we go and we meet them. We explain our value. We go over the sales process. We show them everything that's going on, the cost, the benefits, the whole 9 yards, and then we get them to sign a listing agreement. Moving forward, that process is going to be the exact same.
For the buyers.
Exactly. You're going to have to meet buyers in advance because you won't be able to show properties unless we have a signed buyer brokerage agreement. We need to sit down with them, provide value, show what we're worth, and stand up for what we charge. Now, in order to better equip our agents, we provided a buyer presentation, and so we have a brand new buyer's presentation. It is, you can find it in paperless pipeline section.
Under
Inside.
buyer consultation.
Yep.
And it's the keywords to look for 2024 buyer presentation or guide.
Now we're going to keep updating this, but one thing I really want to point out is inside there. We just finished updating a new section talking about where we're negotiating for you, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, that in order for us to go to the negotiation table on your behalf, I have to have permission in the form of a signed buyer brokerage agreement. And now, once we have this agreement, then we can go through. These are the services I provide. These are the fees that I charge, and then I need an agreement to move forward. Now, in there, we also explain who can cover the commission. And then what are our options? Like the seller can offer to pay all or part of it. We can request the seller to pay in advance of viewing the property. We can request the seller to pay as part of submitting an offer. The buyer could still pay. It could be negotiated into the sales price for the seller to cover, and now we might be able to work into the financing, or it could be considered concessions in form of closing costs. There's a lot of options that we have to work with our buyers. We just have to be able to explain them in a very laid out detail. But I can't do any of those if I don't have a signed agreement for us to work together.
That's correct.
And so I know that there's a lot of news going on in our industry right now.
A lot.
Since all this has happened, we get phone calls, text messages nonstop. And I'm not complaining. Please keep sending them. I have no problem at all with it. That's not what I mean. But what I mean is you got to be able to slow down too. Constantly reacting to everything happening in our market will just make you like you're on pins and needles. It makes you shaky, kind of thing. This is a marathon, not a sprint, right? And I mean, we have months until we actually get down to the actual final nitty gritty of this thing coming on. So you got to sit back and like take a deep breath here. It's time to rediscover the joy in the work that we do. Enjoy working with your clients and your customers.
Truly serve our community.
Yeah, build those relationships. Like that's why we got into real estate, right? Like for us, real estate, like making money in real estate is a byproduct of doing something we really enjoy and we're really good at, and people are going to pay us for. But we don't do real estate for the money. That's a byproduct, and so it's time to rediscover that joy in doing what we really love to do.
Nothing makes me more happy than have a client say, "Oh my gosh, this is my home," and not only that, I'm able to build wealth. I'm able to do this. I'm able to do that and make this my own. So it makes me very happy when I hear that, and especially for someone that has been in generations of renters and their parents has always rented and they have always rented. And when they're able to own a piece of property they can call their own, I mean, to me, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to the news here. So,
All right.
Interest rates versus inflation. We are seeing inflation is it's what everyone's calling sticky. However, it's hovering, between that 2.83%. It keeps going back and forth, and so it's sitting about 3. Now, the Fed wants the interest rates sitting at 2, and so they're not there yet, and so they're kind of holding out for that. And so last week, they announced that they weren't doing a rate reduction. They weren't going to do a rate reduction last week, but and in turn, the rates didn't move the way we wanted to. This week, rates are starting to move back down, which we're really happy to see. We're very pleased to see rates moving down. As a matter of fact, Mortgage Bankers Association, Fannie Mae, and Wells Fargo all came out with predictions showing that we're going to be much closer to 6 by the end of the year, or maybe even below 6 by the end of the year. And I think that's a really big game changer if we get back into the low 6s.
Absolutely.
And not that where we're at right now is a terrible thing, but like we just know that the lower the interest rates, the more people are going to be able to afford to buy, and that's going to be a really positive thing. Overall, right now, we are seeing inventory increase. And part of this is seasonal. Like normally
Yes.
this time of year on like a normal year, inventory increases this time of year. But my goodness, we are glad to see it. The last several, ever since COVID, inventory has been, let's be honest, before COVID, inventory was really tight here in Georgia. And then after COVID, it was ridiculous. And so we're still nowhere near where we need to be. However, we are seeing new listings ticking up and overall
That's
total
great.
active inventory moving up. And that's a really good thing for us to have. So we're pleased to see that. Now, we're moving into the best week to sell for your sellers to sell is coming up. It's April 14th
14th
to
to
20th.
20th.
And so we got a few weeks to try and get ready. Like I want you to really be reaching out and engaging with your sellers right now. And the reason why this is so important, like this, the date's not pulled out of just thin air. So this week, if you look at when do we have above average pricing, it starts that week,
Mm-hmm.
right? In addition to that, what else do we have? We have above average buyer demand. We're moving into that spring buying season. It's getting hot and heavy. We're seeing a
Correct.
lot more activity going on right now. In addition, we have a much faster market pace starting mid-April, and then we also have lower competition because the more people coming in the market, even though we have inventory increasing, it's nowhere near where it needs to be. It's nowhere where it has
It's
been in
nowhere
past
near
years.
the demand needs to be.
Yeah. And then also at the same time, this is also a time of year where we have less price reductions than any other time of the year. So right now we still have, even though inventory is remaining steady and kind of increasing, pricing is holding good, which we're like we don't see prices drop. So all these factors come together. Now's a great time to sell. And this is not one of those, we're never going to be folks who say, oh, it's always the best time to buy. It's always the best time to sell. No, seriously, like we just showed you, this is why this is the best time to sell right now. And so if you wait until mid to late of April to reach out and talk to your folks, you're
You
missing the
might
boat.
miss some of the
They got to
high
have some
prime
time.
time.
Yep. So we need to be out there going for this kind of thing. Um, Changing gears here, Georgia Real Estate Commission just sent out a new proposed amendment dealing with
Real
brokers.
estate broker.
Yeah, this is for us and for all my associate brokers. So this counts for associate brokers as well. And so what GREC is looking to do, and so as it stands right now, they've got a proposed amendment that ensure a minimum level of competence from Georgia real estate brokers. And so that what that basically means is they're going to say that all real estate brokers must
Take 18 hours worth of broker related continuing
CE.
education classes, and that will account toward your 36 hours for renewal.
Yeah. Now we have no idea what this looks like yet. We don't,
This is
I know that we
proposed.
teach a lot of things, and so where this is going to go, personally, we're excited about it. We think it's we deal with a lot of folks. I don't know, I don't want to talk bad about anybody, but we see there's a big need for broker education. That's a good way to put it
Absolutely.
out there. So and I think that's a really good thing. And so if brokers had to start having 18 hours of broker education,
I
we're
think that's a
down
great
with
thing.
it. But there are going to be some, Greg's going to be having some discussions, however you feel about it, pro or con.
Once again, this is a proposal, not something that has passed yet.
Right. And so
But we're looking forward to it.
we hope it happens, honestly. But whether you do or don't, you do have a voice and share with Greg what how you feel and that kind of thing. Now, on the social media side of things, Instagram has made some changes to primarily hashtags. And I know that sounds weird, but some folks use hashtags very, very effectively. And then some folks don't use hashtags at all. And so what Instagram wants to do now is make it easier for people to find you by hashtags. And one of the biggest change now is that your profile needs to have hashtags in it. Because in the past, you didn't really look people up by hashtags in their profile. Now your profile can have hashtags, and the whole idea is it's designed to help people find you better. So please make sure you have hashtags in your profile. That's a very easy one. Now, if you are an agent and you are targeting after trying to engage with more Hispanic users, social media is a place to be. Hispanic users have a higher adoption rate than any of the U.S. population on YouTube, Facebook,
Instagram.
big time on Instagram kind of thing. And so we just think it's good to share this kind of information with you. We want to jump over and talk a little bit about, is an in-ground pool a great idea? And what do do you get any value from putting in a pool? How about doing any of these outside upgrades? And so we want to kind of touch on some of the exterior upgrades, and what do you recommend when a seller says, hey, if I buy a pool, or if I put a pool in, am I going to get that money back? And so the numbers are in.
Not today's pool costs.
Well,
I mean, it's really crazy expensive.
Yeah. I mean, on average, right now the average pool, in-ground concrete pool, costs around 90 grand. And on average, this is just a national average overall, your average seller recoups about 56% of that. And some folks might feel like, well, maybe that's not the greatest thing. There are things like overall landscaping is one of the best upgrades you can do. For on average, overall landscaping nets out 100% improvement. And then the other one that's
kitchen.
Outdoor kitchens almost dollar for dollar increase the value of property right now. They're very, very popular. But like there are some things that may not have the greatest cost recovery. So, for example, when you look at the overall list of like exterior remodeling projects, in-ground pools tend to have some of the lowest cost recovery. However, there's also this thing called the joy score, meaning how much joy these things bring you. And
it's on 10 to 10.
And then what's the thing that brings our folks the greatest amount of joy on the exterior? It's the in-ground pool. And so our basic recommendation, if a seller comes to us and says, we're thinking about putting a pool, but we want to see if we're going to capture our value, that's the wrong question to have. Are you going to enjoy the pool? Do you want a pool for you?
It's personal enjoyment. Just like an appraiser, when they go appraise a property, they're going to look at the square footage, okay? Just because you have a great appliance does not make you better than what the overall package is. It may account for a little bit of it, but it may not account for the whole entire value.
On pools, it's going to be about half of the value comes back. But really, like don't put a pool in if it's a financial decision.
Correct.
You put a pool in because you want a pool. That's the bottom line there that we really want to go to. So now at the same time, we're seeing where more and more of our home buyers are downsizing. So the National Association of Home Builders just went out and did a new study, and that what they're seeing is that, well, what they're saying is that buyers want smaller homes than they did. And I don't necessarily agree with that statement. Only they're buying smaller homes because of affordability. Right. Ming is spot on, right? That's the thing. And so the builders are saying, okay, they want smaller homes. I don't think that they really want smaller homes. It's that they can afford smaller homes. Affordability is a really big deal for us out there. And now in turn, what are the builders building? Smaller homes, right? And so we're seeing that the builders are listening.
Meet that affordability.
Right, but see, that's the thing. It still comes down to affordability. Right now, overall new construction sales are continuing to run really, really strong. We're very, very blessed to see just overall home builder sentiment is really high, and our builders are building more, and they're taking up and we enjoy our relationships and working with our builders. But there is a new study that just came out, and they polled folks who had bought a new construction home and who actually got a home inspection. And they said, hey, what did your home inspection find?
Uncover.
And almost 40% of them found HVAC issues. A third found safety issues. A third found problems with the finishes, and
That's
we see
really
that one a lot.
huge. Yeah.
But drainage issues. I can't count the number of new construction drainage issues that our friends and clients have had. Some have structural problems, foundation problems. Like,
So at the end of the day, it is important, even though it's brand new construction, to have an inspection on the property. Just because a county may have passed does not mean that it has met with the best practice.
well, just having like they're checking for something different.
Right.
Like that home inspector, and we're not trying to push any particular home inspector. That's not what this is. This is about protecting our clients. And so even though it's new construction, you need a home inspection. Please make sure that your clients understand that. And especially even in new construction, they need us. They need us so much more than they realize, because the builder's looking out for the builder's agent's looking out for the builder. Somebody needs to be looking out for our buyers.
Correct.
So don't forget your swag, Max One Market. Now this week on, and by the way, happy Easter coming up. Tuesday, April 2nd, we have Georgia Melissa is going to be going over their products and
Easter
services.
will be Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday.
Yesterday, sorry. Georgia
I
Melissa
think I
products and services.
just destroy his train of thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't take much.
Hey, listen, Tuesday, do come join us for Georgia MLS product, because Paragon is going away. MLS Connect is the next king. So please
Be
come
prepared
and join us and learn, because you'll be amazed at some of the tricks and trade of the tool that you may not realize it was there.
And don't think that just complaining to Georgia MLS means that they're not going to do this.
Correct.
Paragon is going bye-bye. You've got to go ahead and start learning the new system. On Thursday, we have Online Productivity Platform for Success in Real Estate, which is a very long name, which is basically KV Core training. We're going to be going over how to work a database, how to work a CRM, and that's going to be over in our Fayetteville office on Thursday. So we hope you guys have a great week. If we can be of any kind of service, please call, text, smoke signals, and get out there and really just love and enjoy what we do and
Absolutely.
how we help our clients. So
thank you, and have a great
love
Monday.
Y'all. Bye-bye.